Carsten, Melanie, aloha. Hey, so I wanted to follow up with some videos and a template to send you guys on how to orchestrate your workouts. And really, I want this to be more of a kind of a plug and play kind of ordeal. Meaning, if we can provide, I can provide you guys a template, then you can put different things in those slots. And what that template is going to look like is you're always going to have some kind of bilateral or two-legged, either hinge, the deadlift that we did when we were together, or squat, right? The squat that we did, like again, when you're squatting down to the bench. You're always going to do some kind of push or overhead press. You're going to always do some kind of row, right? Or vertical pull. And you know, right now, if you're using with the TRX, I'm gonna show you a little bit different option because I know you guys were interested in getting a TRX or some rings, some gymnastic rings. And then the other thing we're gonna do is a single leg or unilateral exercise as well. So that's really what your template's gonna look like. So let's dive right in. This is gonna be one of 3 videos, maybe even 4 if I can get to it. We'll send you guys maybe a little stretch video if you'd like. But this first video, what I want to do is I want to dive into your warm-up, which again, I like to use core work as a warm-up. It's a way to just kind of get the body going. Again, you guys have a stationary bike. You can always use that as a means just to get your heart rate up. But starting off with a little bit of core, just to prime the muscles, I find to be a very good way to warm up. So the 3 exercises that we did together, I'm going to do right now, and then what we'll do is I'll send you 2 other videos with the main kind of meat and potatoes of your workout. So the first exercise that we did in your warm-up was what I call a back pressure crunch. And it's a pretty simple variation of a crunch. Often when people do crunches, they tend to feel it in their neck. So really what we want to do, we want to crunch, is we really just want to get these guys engaged. Right, there's a lot of times people do core work because they think it's going to get them a smaller waist, they think it's going to get them 6-pack abs. Bodybuilders have a saying, abs are made in the kitchen. And the idea behind that is you're not going to, you can do all the crunches in the world, you're not going to lose body fat from that section. The body chooses where it wants to pull fat from to use as an energy source. So when we're really doing core exercises, the intention behind the core exercise, get those muscles stronger and also learn how to engage them neuromuscularly, meaning learning how to just contract those muscles when you want to, kind of on demand. So this back pressure crunch, what we're going to do, on your exhalation, you're going to tuck your pelvis. You're going to flatten your low back into the ground and think about depressing or bringing your rib cage closer to your hips. So it's going to look like this, right? Tuck, flatten, like I'm bracing for a punch, getting this nice and tight. And as you inhale, just let go. Exhale, tuck, flatten, ribs down, nice and engaged. Inhale, let go. Exhale, tuck, flatten, ribs down. Inhale, let it go. Now, if you want to make this more challenging, you can do the same thing. Tuck, flatten, ribs down, but with your hands on the thighs, just reach farther up, right? Try to touch your fingertips to your knees. If that's pretty easy, try to get your palms to your knees, but make it about the quality. As you inhale, let go. So notice I'm getting this to fire. And that's what's bringing the body up, as opposed to just kind of mindlessly doing this. How engaged can you make that core? How tight can you squeeze it? So again, what we're trying to do is actively get those muscles to engage, not trying to work it as much as we can. The next thing we're going to do is hip bridges. With your hip bridge, when you come up, you want your knees to be roughly at 90 degrees. What we're trying to do here is activate the glutes. For most of us, glutes tend to be underactive. Hip flexors and quads tend to be tight. So we're trying to open up the hip flexors and the quads, strengthen or activate the glutes. Now, a way you can kind of determine pretty easily from this position where to put your heels is if you bring your arms straight, walk your heels back towards your fingertips. That'll usually get you in a pretty good position, depending upon the length of your arms. I like to make fists and push my elbows into the floor. We're going to put a slight tuck in the pelvis, nice big inhale into the body. Exhale, drive to the heels. And again, just like with your core work, right, with that back pressure crunch, focus on squeezing these guys. Don't worry so much about, we're not just trying to do as many as you can. You want to really drive through the heels, squeeze the glutes, get this as tight as you can, quarter between the cheeks, inhale, lower down. Just like that. If you want to make this more challenging, you can put a dumbbell on your hips to offer a little bit of resistance. 10 to 15, and I'll put this in your template, but 10 to 15 of these guys, like 8 to 10 of your back pressure crunch. Again, we're not trying to exhaust you. What we're trying to do is just activate or stimulate. The last of your core exercises, right, part of your warm-up, is we want to fire up your lats, these big guys right underneath your shoulder blade. And the way we're going to do that is coming into this position right here. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to lift the head, neck, and chest. Inhale, lower on down. Exhale, lift head, neck, and chest. Inhale, lower down. Now notice, as I come up, right, I don't even necessarily lift my arms. I really just kind of slide my pinky fingers down and out from my body across the floor. Because I don't want my low back in this. I want my lats. So it's less about lifting the upper torso and more about depressing or lowering, packing the shoulder blades down into your hips. I want to push my shoulder blades to my back pockets. And that's what's going to get these guys and not these guys. So with these, roughly the same thing as with your back pressure crunch. Do like 8 to 10. Quality is far more important than quantity. So that's your warm-up. And actually, I want to throw one more in here. I love doing this, and I think we may have even done this together. For the last exercise for your warm-up, if you choose to get a TRX, is what I call a squat to row. We're going to start off, hands at chest height. We're going to extend. We're going to walk those feet forward just a little bit. You're going to squat like you're sitting in a chair, come up, and pull in. And do this fairly dynamic. Again, we're just trying to prepare your body for what we're about to do next, your weightlifting. So I hope this is helpful. Again, as always, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm going to follow this up with an A and a B workout for you guys to do as well. All right, aloha.